Hello, Brandon. Welcome to the August Patreon review. Thank you again for your continued support. I do really appreciate it. This was a cool game. This was a cool game. I like a lot of the stuff that happened in it. So let's take a look. Sorry for not having the nice background. I didn't set up the screen for this one. Um, anyway, so we are black this game, and everything is fine. And I can't believe you played this move, you mad lad. This is this is craziness. This is um like a very complicated Joseki that white invites. I actually don't understand the intent of this move. I'm just going to let you know that right now. I've asked stronger players about it, and they've given me description, like explanations that just it makes zero sense to me. I almost always just extend here, um, because there is a Joseki variation where they just extend and you extend and they hane. Um, and so I just go this way because this gets really complicated. What it I forget. I don't even know how it goes. I don't think it goes this way like it did in the game. I just know that it gets it. Is it this cut? I don't even know. I don't even know. It gets complicated when black plays here. But either way, it's obviously fine. AI says it's fine, but I'd be willing to bet if I don't know the variations, you probably don't either. And so he does cut. But this works fine, I think. Um, this all looks good. This is a little sad for white, just bad shape in general, and we're able to get on top of that. I really like this move. I think I probably would have played this, just kept him low and gone for some influence. But this move seems fine in its own regard as well. I think this is a fine direction to go. And then he attaches to a weak stone. He commits a sin. He commits a sin that an 8K player should not be committing, which is attaching to a weak stone and you Hane. I think the Hane is fine here. I think he's under some pressure. We can obviously also consider the extension, and we'd probably Hane that too. But this seems stronger if it works, and it seems fine to me. And he does that, and we connect, which is great. And then he plays this silly move, and now has a not yet living group, and plays another very very sad move. He needs to jump out here. Okay. So I know this wasn't your mistake, but it's still worth going over because this comes up a few times in this game. Um, you can't get surrounded, right? Like playing a move in Gote to get life is really sad, especially when it doesn't actually get life, right? White's still locally dead, and even if this move did live, you gotta play this. You gotta jump out. And again, I know this isn't your, but it's a concept that's very important to understand. Because let's say that this move did save it, and now black plays here, and haha, white is dead. White already played a move to get out. White's already out. And so we can follow this up, and black's like, oh, but you're locally dead. And white's like, well, that's fine. Now I get two moves in a row, and where everything's fine. Either way, he plays that's a little sad, and you block him. He plays here, and you connect. And I think this is all correct. Um, I'd be a little worried about this co. I'd be a little worried about this co because your group dies if if uh if he wins this co. With that said, it's early. There are no co threats this early in the game. Um, but I think connecting this way is better because if he wants to do this co, um, even if you end up losing this one, you've got more liberties and you can jump out a little farther. By the way, he tanukis, and you go this way, and he plays this variation that I mentioned earlier, right? And I said there that we just extend, and I still think this is what you should play. You can also do the small knights move. With having the strength over here, I am going to suggest doing this. The move you played, the jump, has some Aji, which may or may not come back to bite us in the ass. I forget if you completely lost this corner or not, but I want to point at this move because losing the corner is not an option if we play here. The Aji's gone, and everything is fine. And so it was funny. When I was going through at first and saw this, I was like, oh, I'm gonna need to comment on this move because it leaves Aji that there's no reason to leave. And it did end up getting us in the game. So he extends, you extend, and he jumps out. Um, this move I don't like. It's too central, right? So looking at this board, right? Black is fine over here. We're plenty strong enough for now, and we've got a wide open side. We've got a corner that we didn't answer yet, right? He approached, and neither player has done anything with it. We've got a corner that's unapproached, and then he's got this big potential up here. The center of the board shouldn't be any focus right now. There's nothing going on here. Okay, and so I don't like this because all this it's just a very misplaced stone. I don't understand the point of this move because it's not reducing, right? Whites would be more than happy to just go, okay, fine, force me to play a move up here and make me get 20 points. Like he's happy to do that. Or he can just Tanuki this. This move is very off. This was probably of all the moves this game, this is the one that jumped out at me as the most as just being off, right? Um, you know, we have many options here, right? We can respond to this corner however we want, right? Back kick, pincer, whatever. We can play here. We can play here. We could look at something like this or this. We could look at pressuring these 4 stones by taking a shape point or a shape point. There's big moves on this board. We can also just take anything on the side here. This is just very small move compared to the others. We do get him to back off. You play this is fine. I think third line move is probably a little better here. Makes it tougher to. It's just better shape. It's better shape to have a stone on the 4th line and the 3rd line. When we play this, it just gets a little easier for white. There's a lot of room to navigate here. But he plays a thank you move. You block, and that's fine. And he jumps in here. And yeah, I guess it doesn't matter too much which way we block. AI seems fine with blocking this way, so I don't think there's anything really tricky. This variation pops up again. Notice your opponent is pushing, not jumping here. And so then you jump, which probably is fine. What I don't like about it is how would you respond if white plays here? I don't think you can do this because I think this cut is too painful. I don't think we can get away with that. And so if your answer is like, well, then I would extend. This is giving white too much. It's giving black, influence as well. But normally after this, black is Haneing here, and then this is considered strong enough to Tanuki from. And so we're obviously keeping white pretty low here, as opposed to this. If he pushes, we get this. This isn't keeping white low at all. White's getting, a fair amount of points here. White Tanuki plays this and Yuhane, as one should. And he Hanes and Yuhane again, as one should. He's got to be real careful here. This group can get under a lot of pressure. If we take the Hane, this actually comes in Sente. He has to descend. He's fine. He's still alive, so maybe it's fine to for each Tanuki. And it's a big move. Big move. I like one. And he jumps in here. And I was gonna say, I was getting prepared to say because I knew you would answer this move that we don't need to answer this move right now. This is one of those invasions or not invasions, a move where like we don't really have a good answer to it, so you can just ignore it. But you Tanuki'd it. You ignored it. So I don't even have to say you should ignore that move. I'm not sure I would play here, but I'm really happy that you ignored this move. We've got this strength here now. I would definitely consider a move like this. I would consider a move like this because it comes in Sente, and then this. Now this stone's going to be in some hurt. We can also look at a similar thing, play this, and something like this to break up the top. But black's in really good shape here. AI says black's in really good shape here. Looking at this board, I absolutely like black on this board. So anyway, so you play this, and he does that. You connect under, and he does that. And yeah, I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure this stone's worth saving, right? Like, if we played here, he's certainly not going to go capture that stone, right? Because then its corner dies. So even if it's something like this, and then we play here, he's again not going to take the stone. He has no timing to take this stone, just zero time. So, and even if he did capture it, so what? It's just one stone. He can't give us 2 moves in a row. So I don't think that one was worth saving, right? I think you're familiar with the questions, but question 1. So when we're trying to figure out if we want to save stones or capture stones, 3 questions. Question 1: does it affect the life or death status of any nearby groups or any groups on the board? If the answer to that is no, then you move on to question 2. Question 2 does this stone have any good follow-ups? And yeah, this one definitely does. The stone definitely does have good follow-ups, so we have to keep that in mind. And then question 3 is the stone simply worth enough points to capture or kill? And that one's no, but we can't deny the fact that this does have great follow-ups. So maybe saving it is okay, because I just asked the questions. In question 2 got a pretty hard yes. And what I mean by good follow-ups is we've got a really nasty monkey jump, just like a disgustingly strong monkey jump. We can probably even get away with like H17. So okay, I take it back. Saving the stone is a good move because it does elicit a response. Okay, and we play out here. Seems big. I'm not going to comment on the move. It's fine. He peeps. We connect. He does this. We block. He goes here. So now this move. So this is a weird move. And it is what it is, whatever. And I think you ended up going and capturing that stone, which I think is fine. But I think when you played this, you probably knew that this stone was already dead, right? And then he played here, and now you're maybe a little unsure. And so you want to put another stone into it. I don't necessarily disagree with putting another stone into this area. I probably would answer this move. But I wouldn't answer it with something as close as this. I would try to find what is the most efficient move I can play that fully captures this stone. And in this case, I think it's this one. This clearly makes us stronger here, so I don't know what he could, like, he can't push. And if he jumps, I don't know. I don't think he gets out of this. I think it's all pretty bad for him. So so this looks like the most efficient move, and so he would probably push. And I don't know. I don't think he can Hane, but even if he does, whatever, we'll play here. Or we can play here because he can't do this because it's. So there's there's stuff here, but this is minor. Well, maybe it isn't minor. This is a big move. And this is just a little too timid. But anyway, so then he plays here. And I find it funny. And then so here you correctly realize that you have a better move than just connecting. So I find it interesting that back to back, it's like here you found the move, right? Like obviously we really don't want to do this. That would be pretty bad. And so you recognize that. So good job there. And we connect, same thing. And then he plays this tiny. And this one, I still think for a long while on this board that this is probably the biggest sequence right here. Is these 2 moves. I think this really puts white in a very tough position. This is whatever. This move was really weird because you can just play here to capture the stone, right? And if you were afraid of like something like this, and you're like, oh, and then he forces me to capture. Well, that goes the other way too. If you play here, he can still do this and force you to capture. So it's the same exact thing. So I don't know. It just seemed weird that you Atari'd from the bottom as opposed to the top. That would ensure the kill. Okay, so then he plays this absolute nothing a move. I don't like this. You're gonna be really surprised at what I think we should do here. I think we should descend and play here. A little higher now because of this stone, but yeah, it's fine. It's fine. None of these moves are bad. Like these actually aren't big mistakes. Your AI graph is still going up. I mean, White's playing some pretty big mistakes here. But oh, I just saw this. This is a thing, huh? Like that is not a thing. Ignore me. This isn't a thing at all. It's just a net. It's just a net cape. But anyway. Okay, so we play this. He does that. Sure. This does set up to start surrounded. I know we do end up killing this group. And he jumps out. We do this. I would probably take this Atari. I don't know. I would probably take these exchanges, but that's minor. Jumping out is perfectly fine. He connects, you connect, and this is the next one that's a little sad. And this is similar. So I'm kind of seeing a common theme here. This one's a different flavor of it. So yeah, he is threatening this cut, but does it matter? Um, if we play a move like this and he cuts, and whenever we do this, like that's fine because we already got a move out here. We're nice and strong. So then we can do something like this and forces him to jump out, and now we just connect over here. So it's like this group actually isn't in trouble. He's threatening a cut, but he's threatening to cut an already living group from a group that can be strong if we play the first move in this direction. Right? So if we make this group strong and he plays, here, comes in Gote, we get the next move. And so yeah, so we can do this, or we can attach here, diagonal, jump, like anything to do to make this group stronger, I think would be fine. So, and it's just bad shape, right? It forms an empty triangle. We're just not a fan of it. So he cuts here. Yeah, and then ironically, you get cut anyway, right? So it's funny, the cut that we actually care about is this cut, which is why my intuition said just play here, because from a shape perspective. But yeah, I find it funny that looking to connect, you actually got cut anyway, but it's still a move. It doesn't matter because you're strong on the outside. And so all of this seems fine. I think all of that is fine. I'd still want to do something down here, especially now that he's got these awkward 5 stones. Sorry for the yawn. I'm tired as hell today. So yeah, so I'd still do this and look at something here. It's tougher now. I mean, these stones are awkward, but they're also quite strong. I'm not sure. I'd probably question white and see what he wants to do with this. It's a tough move to answer. Real tough move to answer. Because yeah, I mean we're familiar. Does this work? I think so. I don't know. It doesn't feel good for white. It doesn't feel good, so I don't think he can do that. There's lots of options. We know that this is this move right here is notoriously difficult to answer. Anyway, so you play here. He does this, and then we get ourselves in trouble because of the Aji. The Ajis got us. So yeah, I think we needed to recognize and connect or connect here, I guess, which is sad, right? We're not happy to do it, but we're up enough that we can get away with it. But unfortunately, actually, this was fine. It's still the same issue, right? Where we get this Atari into this Atari, right? It's the same problem. So yeah, we needed to connect instead of Atari, but we missed it. That's okay. Well, he's missing it for a bit as well, and then he goes and gets it. And this is big. This is a big loss for sure. AI sees a way to live. I don't know. We go here. I think we're probably fine. It's a tripod shape. We do this. And then we can do this. It's tricky though. It's tricky. Because I look at this and this doesn't look too alive. But it probably is. Right, because we can do this into this. No. Yeah. He can't stop that eye because then we come out here. So we're probably okay. But this doesn't do it. This doesn't do it. He got us, and that's okay. But now black is winning by 0.1 point. We just lost 25 points. No big deal, though. No big deal. I think I have to question him on this move, but does this not work? This does not work. But then we get this. I don't know. Goes hard. This feels bad to answer like this, but maybe it's just the answer. AI doesn't dislike the move. That move sucks. That's fine. Sure. Nice. Oh. Oh, not nice. Are we in trouble now? Are we in trouble? L plus one. L plus one is dead if white plays first. Um, but he didn't. But he didn't. And yeah, we're alive now. We're alive now. Nope, still alive. Okay, so cool. Yep, I like this. Hmm. There's, I smell blood in the water here. I want to play this move. Because then we get this and this and this. Maybe that isn't anything. Maybe that isn't anything. But there's something here. There's something here. I don't know. Something looks like there's a cut here. Anytime I see this, I want to push through. And he blocks, and then we've got two cuts. Something's got to work here, and I think it's this. I think it's this. He descends. We descend. He has to come over, and now we get this Atari and this Atari. And then we connect. He looks not alive. He looks dead, and this isn't an issue because he's still dead. So I wonder how he would have to answer this move. He'd have to give something up. He probably has to play here. That feels terrible. That feels terrible. Sneaky stuff, though. That's sneaky stuff. Anyway, and then we get to reduce him. We go there. Cool. Yep. And he drops. And then here's where AI just goes on the fritz. I love it. It's like, oh, white just lost 25 points. Oh, black just lost 28 points. Oh, white just lost 31 points. It's cool. Just this crazy sine wave. Because yeah, apparently white just is dead if you do this. And he has to give that up or give all of it up. And that's tough to see. That's tough to see that white is dead here because of this cut. This makes it look like that white's in okay shape, but I don't think it is. I don't think he is because this is a false eye. He's got 0 eyes. But we do eventually find it. So pretty cool win against an 8K. I'm definitely seeing some improvement. I know you said that you've been playing more and studying more. I've definitely been seeing an improvement in how you've been playing recently compared to our earlier stuff, and so that's good. So what did I have you working on last time? Was it weak groups? It was weak groups. I think I had you work on weak groups. So let's keep on doing that, right? Your invasion stuff has gotten good, and so still pay attention to weak groups. One more thing I'm going to add in. This is just this isn't really something that you need to sit down and study and work on. This is just a mindset thing, and it's always tough. And this is one of those things that I'm probably also pretty bad at. But that doesn't mean that I can't teach it. And that is moves like this right here. Okay. And the reason that this is tough is it requires active thought. And I know that sounds really dumb when we're playing Go, but it's so easy for us to just fall in the traps and just kind of play automatically or play by intuition. But if you can slow down and approach things this way, it helps a bit. You can't do this every move. But so here's the situation. You want to play this move, okay? Identify why you want to play this move. What is the goal of this move? Okay. So this is a pretty easy example because the goal of this move, I think, is pretty clear. We're killing the stone. That is the point. We're connecting up. We're killing that stone. That is what this move is intending to do. So it's okay, so now let's back it up. Our goal now is to kill this stone. We knew the move that we played was going to be to kill this stone. Can we find a better move that does that thing? And that's it. Just slow down and go, okay, I'm considering playing this move here. And the reason I'd play this move is to kill this stone. And so I'm considering this. Can I find a better move that also does that? And you want to know what? Even if you don't find this, that is okay. If slowing down and asking that question leads you to play this, that's still an improvement. This is still 2 more points than playing P16. Okay? So even if this isn't the best answer, I think you can agree and see pretty easily that this is definitively better than P16, even if it's just 1 or 2 or 3 points. But sometimes it's more. And in this situation, I think if you had found this, I think this is probably closer to like a 6-point move. Because I think this still gives you the strength to kill this. But tougher read, right? This is a trickier read. And so if you want to play this but you're like, but that might not get this, that might not kill the stone, I'm not sure, that's okay. Giving thought is fine. This is one of those things like when I have people working on when to save or sacrifice stones, I'll say the same thing where like even if you make the wrong decision, if you at least stop and think about, do I actually need to save that stone? Or should I be actually capturing that stone? That is a step in the right direction, even if you get the answer wrong. Actually, I don't care too much if you get the answer wrong, right? If I was having you work on capturing and saving stones, right, or sacrificing or when to capture, and you get to a point and you're like, well, I asked the questions and I wasn't really sure, I couldn't really tell, and so I decided to capture. I think that'd be fine, right? Be like, okay, at least you stopped and asked the questions, and sometimes the answers are hard. And this is one of those situations as well, where if you look at this and try to figure out what's the best move that captures that stone, it might not be easy to see. But I think if you did stop, you wouldn't choose this. And I know this is a small thing, but there were a few examples of similar stuff like this game, including the way your opponent handled it. I know that you are not him, but it's a common mistake around this rank and mine as well, to play inefficient moves that have one purpose. So I think that's where we'll leave this one. I think you played this game pretty well. I know you mentioned in the past, it blows my mind that you don't know the 3-3 Josekis too well, which is surprising because they're very they are straightforward. But yeah, just keep in mind that when you are jumping in the 3-3, you're pretty much connecting all of your stones. You're very rarely leaving that gap. The only time you're leaving that gap is in the pincer variation. When they pincer and then you jump into 3-3, they extend. You threaten to connect back. They block. You connect. They connect. And now you can jump. But here you're jumping off of 3 stones and not 2. And there's an extra liberty at T1. And that's really the difference, because when we play here, the issue with the other variations is when black plays this, white falls short on liberties. But because we've played D2, we've got 3 liberties now, and so we win the race. And that's actually the reason why we play D2. The reason we make this exchange, because this exchange is not good for whites. This local exchange, black makes out on this exchange. But white does it to get this jump, which brings it back to a neutral exchange, brings it back to even, which is why it's Joseki. But again, only because he's jumping off of 3 stones, right? If it was this and we jumped, then black can just immediately do this and then capture these 2 stones, which is why we typically will jump off of 3 stones, but not 2. But anyway, that's where we'll leave this one. Nice work. Again, thank you for your continued support. I hope that you are still getting something out of it. If you have any questions with this game, let me know. Any questions with stuff in general, let me know as well. Hope you enjoyed your weekend, and I will see you later.